Hello everybody, welcome back to another build. This one is of a highly custom 1/24th Dodge Charger. Now this build is being built into a very highly custom, generally replica. Now what you see right here is the interior piece at early stage. Now the carbon pieces was actually done by Gloss Black, by Krylon, and also by Counterplace. I like using different types of brands of paints as well. And I spray painted the parts down with Gloss Black, then back over easily airbrushed Accolade number 2 under the parts. Now, if you spray paint Accolade over top of fresh Gloss Black, it depends on how many layers you put on for the shininess. It looks like chrome. Here you can see I did the console with it, and I did the door handles, the window cranks, and the ashtrays. Now here, I'm actually starting to install the dash, the custom rope cage, and also open the door jambs up. Now, when you do this, you gotta keep in mind the dash goes to the side of the interior tubes of the door panel pieces. Now, when you come out, you gotta keep in mind where the dash mounts to, and also how you're gonna be scrubbing the door open. Now, I like using a number 11 blade ecto blade backup to scrub the door lines. I always tell you to take my time because if you don't, you can easily injure yourself in a very bad way. Now here is what I'm doing a mock-up at, with the interior tube in place, with the rotator place inside of the shell. Now this shell in this kit is actually provided by a revamp. It's one of their 1969 Dodge Charger kits with the blue background on the box art. Very nice kit, I might add. It's very highly detailed of the time they came up with these kits back in around 2000. Around 1995 or something it was, when I first got the first Revolve kit. Now here is the dash. Now the thing is, the car is so custom, being a custom built, that it doesn't have stock interior very much. Now the exterior was done the same way, gloss black, Accolade for the spokes. Same thing done with the gas cluster. Now, the thing is, the color I'm using here is a Kawasaki Kiwi color, tan. Now, this project is actually a very fun one, and actually, it's doing more curveballs than anything, as I was working on it. Now, the color of the orange with the tan, now, the thing is, the roll cage here, what's up to the real car, the cage changed. So right here, the cage is actually changing because the door side is actually supposed to swing open. Now at this moment, I was actually doing this right here with 322 evergreen round stock plastic. Now plastic is one thing; it's easy to work with. You can easily super glue or use a tester glue, which I like using Loctite super glue. That's what I like using. Now, here is the frame connectors that connects the rear frame to the front piece of the frame. Because everybody knows that in these kind of cars, they're unibodies, and that they do crumple easy. And they do twist hard. Now, the thing here on this here is, yes, I made both the upper and lower A-arms move. And as you can see right here in the picture, I'm actually making them functional, like what the real car has. Now, again, back to the interior piece. As you can see right here, I was easy walking my way through the steps of it, trying to see how it was going to look. Because I was using reference pictures off the show. I was also using reference pictures off another car to make this car. It was actually being how it looked like. Now, the thing here is that I was not really worried about the floor pan because that was going to be covered in embossing powder. But it was getting the interior tube actually up to where it should be at, detail-wise. But the thing is, this car is not like the stock car. It's not like the street version. This one is actually custom, very highly custom. Now the thing is, as time went on, I did go back, like I said, with the real one having the cage change in it here and there. I went back with the evergreen on stock, and I changed the cage as well in this one. Now the thing is, throughout the time of the build here, things do change here and there, and I'm trying to keep up with everything on it. Now the cage here does have as you can see now in the white area, is actually a loop around upper roll cage piece now. It will be post stock, is what it is. Now the thing is, by doing this, now I gotta connect the sidebars of the door panel pieces onto the front piece now of the front bars now that is being added in. Now right here, I'll explain to you right here. The seats is actually from the kit. Now the thing is, the dash is actually a flat black painted dash cluster. And I actually, if you look close, you can see where the steering column piece is at. I actually did have to whittle it out a little more to make sure that the new custom steering was on fit in it. Now, as for the gas pedal, that is actually from the kit too. But the thing is, this build here is going to go through a lot of changes as it's being built. Now, if you look in that part of the kick panel, you see there's a hole there. That's for the hinges and stuff that I make, and that PIP makes. Now, the thing is, you can't actually do door panel testing yet because stuff ain't at that stage yet. So it's kind of hard to go back and forth here and there and try to figure out what's going to be there when it's not there. And here you see both the interior tube and the chassis laying side by side, and here's the interior piece. Now that there was actually done by a desert tan color that was actually purchased off the local hobby shop, by the way, and the color that's made by testers. But as for the interior, is actually all done by Kyla. Chibi tan color, if I'm pronouncing it right. Because they do make quite a few nice tan colors in their lineups. Now, as you can see right here, I had actually engraved the side of the seat movement for the door bars. Now, this here is an early mock-up piece for the seat bus of a 5-point racing harness that's supposed to go in the build. Right here you see is the material that PIP was using as like a mock-up for the seat was going to work on was actually black vinyl tape, electrical tape. That was actually being, and the squares you see was actually evergreen, rolled into shape. Now, as for the pins that you're seeing right now in the roll cage, it's actually done by clothespins that you can buy at almost any clothing store, any hardware store. It's like $1,000 for like $1 or something like that. And it varies from vendor to vendor, from place to place.